God bless all of you. Well, we have 145 days until Election Day. 145 days. That's going to be filled with spiritual warfare. Spiritual warfare is going to take place between now and then. And what we've seen with the COVID and what we've seen with the riots and all that kind of stuff, all of that is spiritual warfare. Jesus said, I beheld Satan fall from heaven as lightning. There was war in heaven. There was some spiritual battles going on, and God kicked Satan out. Him and his angels, a third of the angels in heaven, fell from heaven because God kicked them out because there was a war in heaven. And because of that revelation of Jesus, that revelation that Jesus gave about him falling from heaven as lightning, the occults and the Satanists, they use the lightning bolt as a symbol of Satan. You'll see that in a lot of things, especially people that worship Satan. You'll see the lightning in the skull. You'll see, the lightning flash in cartoons on certain animals, because it's a symbol of Satan. They got that from when Jesus said, I saw him fall as lightning. So I'm praying about doing a conference where we can get together. People say, well, I can worship right here in my house. You could do that. That's fine. But we know that there's power in gathering. We know that we can come together as believers and encourage and be blessed. Yeah. So that's what we're talking about. But it's going to be spiritual warfare. It's going to be spiritual warfare. It's going to be a lot of crazy tricks, a lot of things. It's going to be taking place. But we're going to overcome. Revelation chapter 7. Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought. People don't believe that spiritual warfare takes place. There was war in heaven. And that war in heaven ended up coming down to the earth. And we saw him take the body of a serpent. Take the body of a serpent and beguiled Eve in the Garden of Eden. And he's been getting in people's bodies ever since. Especially politicians, because they're higher ranking people who can make power decisions in this earth. All right? Yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. 145 days until we make the vote. And I believe that they're going to be kicking up this COVID stuff even more. I believe that they're going to be kicking up types of more violence. As a matter of fact, that man that drove into the crowd and shot at the crowd was really protecting himself, because the crowd attacked him. But the news spin it as if he was the one that attacked the crowd, and that wasn't the case. All right? 145 days. We have 145 days, y'all, to encourage people to vote, to encourage people to get on the spiritual side. And another thing is that, what are these prophets saying in your churches? What are your prophets saying? This is spiritual warfare. But they're in church talking about God blessing somebody with a new car, God about to bless you and overwhelm you with a financial blessing. Listen, there's some stuff that's going on far more serious than a financial blessing and a car. We need to know what God is saying and what the kingdom of God is sending. What is our general saying? What is our captain of hosts, the Lord of hosts? What is the Lord of hosts saying to his people in this time of warfare? Because we have seen witches, we've seen Antifa, we've seen George Soros. All these people worship the devil. And they're getting their marching orders from Satan and from the false prophet media. Where are our true prophets in the church, and what are they saying? The last prophet I heard from, false prophet in the black church, was that he was telling us that Trump wasn't going to get in. God told him Trump wasn't going to get in. They're lying. And this is why the church is losing the spiritual battles, because we have false prophets at the helm and on the mic. You know? And this is why I'm praying about doing a conference where we can get together and receive instructions from the Lord, receive insight, receive prayer, offer a prayer in the spirit realm together, you know, encourage one another, and just have a gathering of our own. Because really, if we go into our churches, a lot of our churches are liberal, right? And I could see why Samuel, the prophet, had to break away from the traditional church scene and worship scene in the synagogues. I could see why John the Baptist had to break away from his time in the New Testament. I could see why Jesus had to break away from the synagogues in his time. I could see why the prophet Elijah had to start the school of the prophets. Because many of these things get infiltrated and corrupt. And I'm talking about the houses of worship. Yeah. So, let's consider the spiritual battle. You know, if you'd like to support, let me know if you think the conference is a good idea in October. That's going to be a month, a couple of weeks before we vote the first week of November. You know, if you would like to support us, you know, hit me up on PayPal, make a comment on this video saying, hey, yes, I support it. Or, you know, I'll support from a distance. I'll pray with you. I'll send a financial blessing. You know, I need at least 300 people to support us. This is something I can't do alone. I can't do this alone. You know, I can't, you know, have a gathering and I'm the only one there. I can't pay for charter buses and speakers and all that kind of stuff. And then I'm just there by myself. Okay? I need the support of God's people to support the vision. If we're going to do it. If God is going to put his hand of favor on it, then it's going to go forth. But if God is telling me no, not to do it, I can't do it. But those of you who will support, I pray for special blessings on you. I pray that God bless you, because, hey, Jesus said if you give a prophet a cold glass of water, and he said, I'll bless you with a prophet's reward. You know? So we're going to do this, and God bless you with a special blessing as you support us and go to spiritual battles with us. Right? God bless.